Let's take a look at some of the awesome new manga coming out in February of 2025. Welcome to the Manga Buyer's Guide for February of 2025. Love is in the air this month, and as such, of course, there are tons of new romance manga that are launching throughout the month of February. But don't worry, there's something for everyone, different manga from all genres across the board. Now, if you are new to the channel and to the Manga Buyer's Guide videos here, welcome. I hope you find this to be entertaining and informative as I help you to try and make some good informed decisions on what manga you might want to pick up this month. If you're not new here, welcome back. I always appreciate seeing you. Now, as always, we're going to be covering all the new debuts and single volumes because my goal in these videos is, of course, to help you as a manga buyer and reader like myself to make informed decisions about all the new things, the new titles that are coming out, because there are so many new series that come out every single week from all different publishers across the board that it's really easy to miss something that could otherwise be your new favorite. So let's jump on in and see what's coming out in February, starting with the releases from February 4th. We're going to start with Boruto 2 Blue Vortex Volume 1. Now, if you are already picking this up, you probably know what it is, but for the few people who don't know what this is, this, of course, is the latest installment of the Naruto franchise, which started back in 1999 with the original Naruto series, which ran for 70 plus volumes, and then after a little break, spun off into Boruto, which focuses on the main character Naruto's son, Boruto, and that ran for a little while for 20 volumes and then ended, and now we have a post-time skip series, Boruto 2 Blue Vortex, where our main character and other characters are all a little bit older. If you are not already into the Naruto franchise, probably don't care about any of that, and I wouldn't recommend this to anyone that's new to it because there's almost 100 volumes of material before this volume that you would need to have caught up on. So moving on to something that's a little bit more new reader friendly, Pet Shop of Horrors from 7 Seas. Now, this is one of my most anticipated of the month and of the year so far. This is the classic josei horror series that was originally published in English by Tokyo Pop, but of course they lost the licenses to pretty much everything that they did back in the day, and some other publishers like 7 Seas here and Titan Manga have been picking up some of their old licenses. Now 7 Seas, this is the most recent one that they're putting out, Pet Shop of Horrors, in a new collector's edition set, which is going to be 7 volumes as opposed to the original 10 volumes in a larger trim with a new translation. I believe they're going to have some colored pages in there as well. So personally, I did own the Tokyo Pop version, but as soon as I saw that this was coming, I knew that I was going to have to upgrade because these are gorgeous looking. Anyway, if you're not familiar with the series, this is about a mysterious pet shop in Chinatown that's said to hold any kind of creature, no matter how fantastical or dangerous. The city is plagued with accidents that all seem to be able to be traced to back to animals from that pet shop, and Detective Leon Orcott hopes to pin the crimes on the enigmatic proprietor of the shop, Count D. There is also an anime adaptation that you can check out that's only, I believe, like 3 or 4 episodes. So a quick one if you are in the mood for some horror anime. Moving on, the next one from 7 Seas is Now That We Draw Volume 1. This is a rom-com about 2 high school manga artists who have both been denied by their dream publisher and decide to engage in a fake relationship with each other. So this is a seinen rom-com that's ongoing currently with 4 volumes in Young Animal, which is the same magazine that houses, of course, Berserk and other things like March Comes In Like a Lion. It is an ecchi series, so just be warned. You could probably tell from the cover, but I know that that's not going to be for all rom-com fans. Next up, we have This Is But a Hell of a Dream, a single volume from Tokyo Pop's Love Love line, an erotic, whimsical, and heartwarming love comedy about an awkwardly inexperienced incubus and the handsome host club worker trying to teach him how to be sexy. And we got another single volume from Love Love, I Don't Need a Script for Love. An actor and a model walk into a gay bar. The sexy boys' love romance takes place in the whirlwind world of TV stars and handsome celebrities. Another one from Tokyo Pop's Love Love line. This one is a shoujo fantasy, My Contract with the Apothecary Monster. In this world, monsters consume a person's lifespan in exchange for granting their every wish. However, Nia's mysterious apothecary monster seems uninterested in consuming hers. This is a relatively new ongoing one from Comic Corona. It only has 2 volumes so far. And then we end off this first week with a whole bunch of final volumes. There are a ton of final volumes this month in comparison to last month. From 7 Seas, Candy and Cigarettes Volume 11. I really enjoy this series. It's an action series about a hitman duo of like an old man and a young girl. A lot of fun. I'm a couple volumes behind in reading it, but I can't wait to get the last one and binge through the last few. And a couple of really big finales this month. Soul Eater fans get the final volume of Soul Eater Perfect Edition hardcover, Volume 17, as well as the final Perfect Edition hardcover of Soul Eater Not, Volume 3. So get to wrap up both of those titles and have both of those series complete on your shelves for those of you who, like me, collected these hardcovers. Then we've got, I believe, Delinquent Daddy and Tender Teacher Volume 6, 4-Leaf Clovers is a BL series. And then I think the next couple are GL. I Married My Female Friend Volume 4, Throw Away the Suit Together Volume 3, and then we end this week on My Gently Raised Beast Volume 9. Now let's move on into February 11th. A lot of exciting stuff this week as well. A ton of rom-coms, actually. Fall in Love, You False Angels Volume 1 by Koko Uzuki. The sweet smiles across the faces of the perfect student council duo hide secret tough-as-nails personalities. These two-faced angels vie for dominance while keeping up their flawless act. But how long will it take for contention to give way to attraction? This one is running currently in Kodansha's Dessert magazine. This is coming from Kodansha Comics, and currently just has 3 volumes. I think that Koko Uzuki's first work that's been translated into English is 7 Seas release of Hoteri Hotet, which I think is a, if I'm not wrong, I haven't read it, is a like a short story anthology. Following that, another rom-com coming from Square Enix this time, The Otaku Love Connection, a hilarious slice-of-life rom-com about one high school's gorgeous power couple and the romance otaku who stand them, including one self-proclaimed NPC who doesn't realize he's just as beautiful as the couple he idolizes. This one has 3 volumes in Japan currently. It's been ongoing since April of 2023 in Square Enix's magazine Gangan Pixiv. Then going over to 7 Seas, we've got Choking on Love by Keiko Iwashita. This one is also a dessert manga. And also has 3 volumes currently, just like the Fall in Love one that we talked about previously. Opposites attract in this shoujo romance about a career-focused artist and the bad boy guitarist who turns her world upside down. Then one more from 7 Seas, I Want to Escape from Princess Lessons, Volume 1. Being a princess isn't all it's cracked up to be in this romantic comedy between a free-spirited duke's daughter and a stubborn prince. The duke's daughter has taken lessons in how to be royalty for the past 10 years and is betrothed to marry a prince. She's completely disinterested and wants to find a way to break it off, which seems impossible until she sees the prince show up at a royal ball with a mysterious woman on his arm. I believe that one got an anime adaptation, or is getting one. Then we have one more from 7 Seas, King the Land, Volume 1. This is a full-color prequel manhwa to the Netflix K-drama. I believe it's wrapped up in 2 volumes, so it's not a huge commitment. If you are a fan of that K-drama series and wanted to check it out, see what the story for those characters is before the start of the drama. Moving over to Viz Media, we get Pokemon Scarlet and Violet Volume 1. The Paldea Adventure Begins. This is the first half volume of Scarlet Violet, which eventually they will release in the full Pokemon Adventures volumes, like the full, now they're $11.99 each. The previously $10 ones. Currently, we are still waiting on the end of Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, and then they'll start putting out Sun and Moon and Sword and Shield, and then eventually get to Scarlet and Violet. But if you are impatient, you don't want to wait for the full editions of those previous series to come out, you can start picking up the half volumes for $5.99 each starting this month. Then over from Titan Manga, they have licensed Sword of the Titans, aptly named title for Titan to have licensed. For fans of epic fantasy and supernatural battles between gods and demons, this manga will take you on an epic quest as the young boy Tsuchimaru acquires a powerful sword from a mysterious artisan and joins the gods to fight fiends himself. This one is a 3-volume seinen that ran in Kurage Bunch from 2022 to 2024. Then from Sublime, we have Palace of the Omega, Volume 1. The Omega Prince of a poor nation has been sold off to a wealthy Alpha King for political and financial gain, but all is not as it seems. Looks like this BL is just 2 volumes long. Then moving on to Tokyo Pop Love Love. Once again, we get a love-struck cat wants to be petted. This is a single volume release from them. Kotetsu recently transformed into a half-cat, half-human boy and must hide his tail and ears to conceal his secret. But he's been frequenting the pet shop lately where he's been visiting Okazaki. The two have a budding friendship, but what will Okazaki think if he finds out Kotetsu's secret? Another one from Tokyo Pop Love Love is White Liar. I believe this is also a single volume release. Freelance beautician Shiraishi Kei has sworn off love until he has a casual one-night stand with up-and-coming young actor Taiga Jinoichi. However, Taiga has been hiding a secret that could change everything between them. And then another series from the Love Love line, The Margrave's Daughter and the Enemy Prince. This enemies to lovers fantasy romance follows a strong-willed, sword-wielding heroine who takes control of her own destiny. This one I think is pretty notable because it's been running since 2022 in Comic Room and already has 8 volumes. It's not too often that Tokyo Pop publishes or licenses a longer ongoing series like this, so it'll be interesting to see them add another long one to their current output. Then a couple of final volumes for this second week, Even Though We're Adults, Volume 10, and Sheep Princess in Wolf's Clothing, Volume 5. Moving on to the third week, here's some books coming out on February 18th, starting with another one that I am super excited for this month, Mujina Into the Deep. This is the newest series from Inio Asano, currently being published in Big Comic Superior. It's got 3 volumes so far. From the creator of Goodnight Punpun and Dead Dead Demons, Didi Didi Destruction, as well as many other notable things. This sci-fi action series takes place in a near future where human rights are for sale, and Mujina, those without rights and therefore outside of the law, can do whatever they want as long as they have the skills to back it up. So if you're a fan of anything that Inio Asano has done in the past, you, like me, probably are very much looking forward to picking this up. If you've never read anything by Inio Asano before, I would say you can probably jump into this one, no problem. It's not like his stuff is connected or anything. You could jump into this one, no problem, and get acquainted with him. But I highly recommend releases like Dead Dead Demons is a great sci-fi drama series. Goodnight Punpun is fantastic, although it is extremely dark, so I wouldn't recommend it for the lighthearted. And Solanin is also great and only a single volume. Next, also from Viz, is Hunter x Hunter, the first volume of the 3-in-1 edition. So Viz is re-releasing Hunter x Hunter in 3-in-1 omnibus editions at the value price of $16.99 each. So if you are someone who's never picked it up, but you've been curious about it, and maybe you haven't picked it up because some of the volumes can get hard to find, this is going to be the perfect chance to jump on in and get these for pretty cheap. If you are completely unaware of what Hunter x Hunter is, this of course is the long-running series from Weekly Shonen Jump by Yoshihiro Togashi, creator of Yu Yu Hakusho. It's been running since 1999, I believe, 1998. However, it's been regularly on hiatus for the past 15 years, so that's why even though it's been around almost as long as One Piece, it only has less than 40 volumes. The series follows the goofy-looking kid on the front of the cover here named Gon, who wants to become a hunter so that he can try to find his father. In this world, hunters are different than hunters here. They are people that specialize in various things, and basically, if you become certified as a hunter, you gain access to different places and things and people that a normal non-hunter person, non-licensed person would not have access to. The series begins where we follow Gon as he is doing the hunter exam so that he can work towards that certification. So I really love it. I highly recommend it, even for people who aren't huge into like shonen action adventure titles. This one kind of stands out amongst the crowd for sure. Next up, moving on to some Seven Seas books again. This one's coming from Steamship. Loving Moondog Volume 1. This is a longer, ongoing shoujo romance series. One woman's life is changed forever when she meets a man who truly has that dog in him. A Doberman turns into a handsome man that chooses Rika, who rescued him, as his mate. Then also from Seven Seas, Fate Collide Liner Prisma Ilia, the complete manga collection. Based on the hit series Fate Stay Night, this alternate universe story features your favorite characters in a magical girl adventure. And this inspired the anime. I don't know anything about Fate, so I would have to be told by someone if this is something that I would be interested in checking out. If I am a fan of, fantasy and stuff, and I'm a fan of magical girls, I don't know. You'd have to let me know. Next up from Kodansha Comics, I Want to Love You Till Your Dying Day Volume 1, an ongoing shoujo GL series from Comic Yuri Hime, 7 volumes so far in Japan. An orphanage for girls is actually a boot camp, turning out magical child soldiers for a gruesome war. Yet love finds a way to blossom amid bloodshed in this dramatic, much-anticipated Yuri manga that is a spiritual kin to the likes of Revolutionary Girl Utena, Other Side Picnic, and Mobile Suit Gundam: The Witch from Mercury. Moving on, we get a couple from Yen Press, Liar Liar Volume 1. This is an ongoing seinen series. The duel to determine the ranks among students is underway at the academy. Shortly after transferring schools, Hiroto Shinohara unseats the previous year's undisputed champion Sarasa Sayonji, and soon becomes the fastest student in academy history to rise to 7-star status. But all of this is a lie? Then we've got Sword Art Online Ordinal Scale, so a new one for fans of the Sword Art Online franchise. This spin-off is complete in 5 volumes, so it's already done. This one is about a new state-of-the-art AR device called the Ogma that's appeared and is the exclusive home to a new MMORPG called Ordinal Scale. The new game blurs the line between fantasy and reality, which draws the attention of Kirito and friends, especially when they hear that SAO bosses are appearing in the new game. Then one from Eyes Press, which is the manhwa line over at Yen Press, Kill the Villainess Volume 1. A woman falls asleep and wakes up as the villainess in the novel she was reading. Desperate to return to her world, she'll do anything to escape her terrible fate. Then we've got one from Titan. We have Speedgrapher Volume 1. This is another one that was originally published over at Tokyo Pop, but they never got to publish the last of the 3 volumes. I actually got the first volume of this sometime like early mid last year or something, so I'm not sure what happened, but this is listed many places as being released this month. So just to cover my ground and do my due diligence, I'm mentioning here that if for some reason I was able to get a copy almost a year early, it's out there now. I have noted that Volume 2 has not come out yet, so maybe, I don't know, maybe something happened. But this is out here now, and if you're a fan of the anime, then definitely pick up this series. And then some final volumes for the 18th. We have a lot this week, starting with Lonely Castle in the Mirror, Volume 5, Wild Roses and Pretenders, Volume 2, God Bless the Mistaken, Volume 4. That's one of the only ones from this week's finals that I've read. And I've only read the first chapter, and I did enjoy it. So since it's only 4 volumes, I might go ahead and finish it out and read that whole thing. Reign of the Seven Spellblades Volume 8, Sugar Apple Fairy Tale Volume 2, which is the other one from this week's final volumes that I've read. I think I'm 1 volume behind. I think I've read 1 and 2, and I did really enjoy it. And then we have The Star Seekers Volume 6, Tied to You Volume 4, Love of Kill Volume 14, After the File, and Detroit Become Human Tokyo Stories Volume 2. A lot of final volumes this month and a lot in that week. Now, before we move into the final week of the month, I do want to talk about the sponsor of this video and of this channel, Walt's Comic Shop. Now, if you're like me and you live in the States, we have a ton of options for places that we can shop for manga. The Crunchyroll store, Amazon, Barnes & Noble, different online comic shops like InStockTrades.com, or even places like Libris. We have tons of options. but if you're outside of the US, your options might be a little bit more limited. For y'all in the EU though, Walt's Comic Shop is a fantastic option. Walt's Comic Shop has a great selection of manga and of comics, and they have great customer service, great shipping, and if you've never shopped with them before, you make your first order within the EU of at least 40 euros or more, use code The Omnibus Collector for free shipping within the EU. So try them out. I know a lot of people have been satisfied with them. I'm really glad that Walt's has sponsored this channel for so long, because it's helped me to introduce a lot of my European viewers to a new place that they can get their manga from. So again, if you're new to Walt's, you try them out, make your first order within the EU of 40 euro or more, and use that code The Omnibus Collector for free shipping. Now, moving into that final week, here's the books that come out on the 25th. We start with the Spirited Away film comic all-in-one edition. This, of course, is collecting the 5 volumes of the Spirited Away film comic into one hardcover. Usually, I'm not a huge fan of film comic stuff, but I make an exception here for Ghibli films because they're so gorgeously animated that it's great to just have those still frames on a page. It's fantastic, and it's fun to revisit these stories in that way as well. The one thing that I do want to make sure to mention every time one of these is coming out is that these are not deluxe size. These are not large. These are like the same trim size as a volume of like a Shonen Jump or Shoujo Beat manga. So even though this is over 850 pages, it's big, but it's stout. It's going to be a short, thick book, basically. But if you're a fan of Ghibli, like many of us are, and you're a big fan of Spirited Away, this might be something you want to add to your shelf. Next up, another one that I'm really looking forward to is Hauntress by Minetaro Mochizuki, creator of Dragon's Head, which is another old Tokyopop series, which I don't think there's been an official announcement, but I did find online, scrolling through the Penguin Random House distributor stuff, that Kodansha is releasing a new edition of Dragonhead. So very excited about that. But in the meantime, we do have this. Interesting note, I didn't know this, but James, who makes the slides for my videos, added to this slide. It was originally published in 1993 before the term stalker was acknowledged in Japanese society. This manga is about a young man pursued by a mysterious woman. So this is credited as kind of introducing the term and the idea of stalkers to people in Japan. It's also regularly chosen as the scariest manga ever in Japanese magazine horror specials. Moving on, we have Eat by Nagabe. From the creator of Girl from the Other Side comes an anthropomorphic BL about a professor who finds pleasure in watching other people eat, but when a student of his bites him, his latent desire for passion and intimacy are unleashed. And I'm a big fan of Nagabe and his artwork. I think Girl from the Other Side is one of the most beautiful manga that I've read, and I'm absolutely in for anything that he puts out there. There's another BL that Seven Seas published a while ago of his called Monotone Blue, so if you're interested in his artwork and just want to see more of him, I would recommend checking that one out. It's kind of light on the L. It's a BL, but it's pretty light on the love stuff. But I'm grabbing this one regardless, and I think he's got more BL, anthropomorphic BL. The monochrome blue was also anthropomorphic. So moving onward, we've got another Seven Seas one. It takes more than a pretty face to fall in love. When one girl's perfect man is at risk of being expelled, she decides to use his looks to help him stay enrolled. A high-speed romantic comedy featuring a senior with dangerously good looks and an incredibly resilient junior with a serious face fetish. This one's been ongoing in Hanato Yume since 2020 and currently has 9 volumes. It is a shoujo rom-com series. Something completely different from Seven Seas, Tamamori's fantasies never stop. Tamamori is seemingly perfect. She's smart and beautiful and the president of the drama club, but she's harboring a secret. She's a complete pervert. If you couldn't tell from the cover of this one, this is an ecchi series. So moving on, Yen Press has Helena and Mr. Big Bad Wolf Volume 1. This is a 2-volume shoujo slice-of-life drama. Young Helena finds strength in reading and creating stories, which have helped her to get through the losses of her father and brother. One day, she luckily attends an autograph signing by her favorite author, Mr. Big Bad Wolf, which leads to the two growing close through their shared love of stories. Then one more from Yen Press in this week, Victoria of Many Faces Volume 1. This is a ongoing shoujo action series with 3 volumes so far in Japan, a woman tries to escape her former life as a spy while also trying to help a young girl she's met who is entirely on her own in the world. Then we got another one from Titan this month, Farewell My Odin Volume 1. Tells the legend of Luke, who faces hardships from birth, but overcomes the suffering he endures to become one of the most feared and powerful warriors in all the lands. And this is endorsed by Makoto Yukimura, who is the writer, of course, of Vinland Saga and Planets. This is a 3-volume seinen title. Then from Tokyo Pop's Love Love line, we get The Inconvenient Life of an Arousing Priestess, Volume 1, an ongoing shoujo rom-com fantasy series, passionate yet pure fantasy romance between a kind prince and a hard-working priestess burdened by her unique ability. She doesn't mean to inspire lust in those around her, it's just how her powers work. Then we move on to a couple that I'm not sure they're actually I'm pretty sure this one, Short Game, Mitsuru Adachi's baseball short story collection from Denpa. I'm pretty sure this is not happening this month, so it's probably going to be delayed further into the year, but as of right now, I do want to mention it because it is scheduled for the end of this month. Mitsuru Adachi is such an underappreciated creator in the States. We only have, I think 2 works of his. Short Program, which is 2 volumes of short stories, and then Cross Game, which is an absolutely phenomenal series, and I recommend it wholeheartedly to pretty much anyone. And I really wish that they would bring more Adachi into English, but a lot of his works are longer, so it would have to, I don't know, a lot of publishers these days are kind of almost allergic to longer and older titles. So that doesn't really help the case here, but fingers crossed that it happens, and either way, keep your eyes out for Short Game, because this is going to be a really great sample of some of the stuff that you could expect from his works. Also, not expecting this to come out this month, but I could be wrong, is Yatamomo from Kuma, which is Denpa's BL label. This has been delayed multiple times. And I haven't heard anything about it going to print just yet, so I'm assuming that it will probably be delayed again. But this is the first of 3 volumes of this Slice of Life BL series. And then we wrap up the month on a couple of final volumes, Nana and Karu Volume 6, and I cross-dressed for the IRL Meetup Volume 3. Nana and Karu is labeled as being by Faku, but it is technically from Denpa. Denpa is the one that does everything for... Denpa is the one that actually publishes it. And so that's why I'm mentioning it here, because I typically don't mention books from Faku or other hentai publishers in these videos. But since I'm talking about it here, I'm gonna say I don't know if this is actually coming out this month. If it does, then there's the end of Nana and Karu. And those of you who did follow this, Faku, not Denpa posing as under Faku, but actually Faku is releasing the follow-up series. So later this year, you can expect that one as well. And that wraps it up for the month of February. Like I said, a ton of rom-coms, a ton of romance titles, and a lot of new shoujo titles as well coming out this month. But there's a lot of stuff for everyone out there, and I want you to let me know, what are you looking forward to most of the stuff that I talked about in this video coming out in February? And what are you looking forward to most in February that I didn't talk about in this video? What, subsequent volumes of things are you excited to pick up? Because there are a lot of great releases. For me personally, I'm very excited about, of course, Hauntress and Eat. I'm also very stoked about Mujina Into the Deep, and the Pet Shop of Horrors is definitely at the top of my list for this month. But let me know what you think about this month's new releases. Let me know in the comments down below, and I will see you all on the next one. Peace out.